Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, and thank you very much for holding this hearing, you and the ranking member. I know that every member of this panel is aware that we are in desperate need of making additional investments in order to build up and maintain our crumbling highways and railways and waterways and airport infrastructure. At the same time, we also are dealing with a great deal of technologies, and we're dealing also with non-resilience in materials that we use, which causes us to have to do some projects over and over again. I still await the President's package coming over with a lot of enthusiasm. But I'm very concerned about all of you commenting on how the industry is experiencing changes. One of the things that struck me, I went to Germany to the BMW plant last year, the year before, with the President, and it was a huge plant. It was larger than this complex. But I didn't see 10 people working there. They were all robots. And I wonder, what is that going to have to do with the workforce in this country, and how do we handle it? And have you had any of those thoughts?
Well, we still have 70,000 people working in that plant you were referencing to, so it's not totally empty.
We walked almost a whole day looking, and I didn't see any. I saw about 10 in the whole plant, and but the number is not nearly as significant as the process, and the and looking toward the future. We also, people think of infrastructure producing a lot of jobs. And in many industries, that is not necessarily the case. And I wonder how it's going to impact your industries as we look at infrastructure. Yes, Mr. Smith.
Well, I have to tell you, I'm optimistic about this. As everybody in this room knows, at the beginning of the last century, about 50% of the population in America was in agriculture. Now there's less than 1.5% of people in this country working in agriculture, and we're producing more agricultural products than we can consume, and it's one of our biggest exports. About 1 in 3 acres in the United States is produced for export. So there are people in the container shipyards handling those exports. There are people in the railroads handling them and so forth. So I'm very confident as things automate in other sectors of the economy, there'll be plenty of good-paying jobs as long as our educational system keeps up with it. And in Tennessee, as Congressman Cohen will tell you, we just passed a law, as I understand it, where any student in the state can go to junior college for free. And that will be the bedrock of people learning new skills to operate in these different environments. I have been to BMW in Germany, and where all those people that Ludwig is talking about, they're not on the factory floor, but they're up in offices doing design and computers and designing the robots and things of that nature. So as long as we have a climate where business wants to invest in the United States and an educational system that supports people being trained for these new technologies, I'm very confident things will be okay. In our industry, for instance, I don't think we're going to go to fully autonomous trucks, but I do think we will go to trucks where the truck driver becomes much more productive. They'll have an autopilot. It'll be safer, fewer accidents. They may have a robot truck following it that allows them to operate. And I think that's the trajectory that'll go on, will go on as long as we incent investment and we have the proper educational systems to support it.
Gentlelady's time has expired. Before we
Thank you.
go
I was just